Okay,
Think somebody get bodied on a weekday. Hey, get out the way. Hey, I'm in my new clothes. Hey, now drop it for me for bankroll. Now, like a dope dealer. What a dope dealer.
well, welcome back to another episode of the From Half Court Sports Talk Show with Rob and Darren. We have a lot of things to talk about today, starting with covering over some of the game ones from this past weekend. So let's talk about game one of the Grizzlies Golden State game. What did you think about this game?
The Grizzlies Golden State game one specifically.
Yes.
It was a good game. I was mad that the Green got tossed. I understood it after the second or third angle. I understood it. It was a good game though. It was definitely a good ending. I had Golden State winning it. I'm happy that they won, and I think this series, especially after Game Two and how Game Two went, I definitely think this series is going to go seven.
I thought this was a really good game too. My biggest thing was Jaren Jackson Jr. and how well he shot from three. It felt like everything he was catching was he was just walking into walking into his form. So a big game by him, especially from three. John Morant, they don't got anybody for him. They really don't. Um, Tell me if I'm wrong. I don't know if maybe it'd been the time off. Clay's defense isn't what it
An
used to
injury.
be.
It's an ACL injury. It's not supposed to be the same.
But he's not. It's not even close to the same. He's
It's not
not.
supposed to be the same. And if you ask me, he's in good shape of where he's at right now compared to ACL injuries.
I feel that. I understand that from like an offensive player standpoint of view, but from what Clay was as one of the best two ways in the league, I think that's going to play a big factor, in not only in this series but in the playoffs,
I disagree with that. I
especially
think
guarding these young athletic guards.
he's not young no more. None of these. If this season has taught anybody anything, the old guard is not. They might still be putting up numbers and they might be great, but there's a young generation who got energy who's coming in. Like
They got more than energy, Darren.
they got energy and they got game. What do you want me to say?
They got more than energy, Darren.
I just said they got game.
They got more than that too. These niggas are killers. These niggas are looking to put you on a poster.
That's what
These
that's what
niggas
they're
are
supposed
deadly.
to. No, I disagree. But I will say, that's not if you get older, you're not LeBron doesn't play the same defense. KD was a good defender in Golden State. He's not a good defender now. You get older, you get older. You get injuries, you're not supposed to defend the way you used to.
That was
Um
different. KD was only a good defender at Golden State because he
I
tried to be
just
a good
said that.
defender
I
in Golden
literally
State.
just said that.
But because he tried to. He wasn't considered a good defender in OKC.
Nah, I can't make that case at all.
He was
But
averaging 2 blocks a game. He was averaging 2 blocks a game when he went to Golden State, which
I'm
is a
not going down
significant
that.
difference.
I'm not going down that. You're getting off topic for me. I'm talking about the past 3 years with KD. Of course, he's not the defender, but he played defense in his prime. He's not in his prime no more. These guys aren't in their prime no more. The young guys are here. They're active. They're here. So to me, that's the biggest lesson I learned from this.
Are
Should
they
we go to game
declining?
two of this? Should we go to game two of this?
Give me 1 second. Are they declining?
They're just getting older. It's not declining. They're just getting older. Older players don't play defense unless you're Patrick Beverly and your name is made on defense.
All right. Game 2 of the series. The Grizzlies won this game 106-101. I thought this was a really good game. Another big game from John Morant. 47 is huge. Relatively efficient from the field. 15 for 31. Jaren Jackson Jr. didn't show up this game like he did the first game, but John Morant just was unguardable this game.
I think the bigger factor of the story was the injuries and how they came out and pretty much hurt who am I thinking of? Gary Payton. Who's probably their best wing defender right now. You throw Andrew Wiggins in there if you want to. But I think that was a big blow for them. Offensively, Gary Payton can get his, but defensively, he can slow people down. I'm not saying he's going to stop people, but he can slow people down. Instead of Ja getting 47, maybe he only gets 40 points and Golden State still pulls this game out. You know what I mean? So I think that was the biggest story. I don't think he's going to be able to come back in this series. I hope he is, but that injury looks kind of bad. Um,
Do you think it was dirty?
yeah, it was definitely a dirty play. There's no question about that.
Then the second
We don't.
question is, do you think it was intentional?
Yeah,
Okay.
I think it's one of those. You just know when it happened. It happened at the very beginning of the game. The whole thing with Draymond last game is pretty much it's just like a revenge thing. And I like this series. It's gonna be a good series. I still got Golden State pulling out this series though. And I like Memphis. I call it Memphis to be the team halfway through the year. That was gonna be when everybody, most of my friends was riding the Chicago Bulls. I was a Memphis Grizzlies fan at that point. I like this team. I just don't think they're going to be able to get past the shooting of Golden State, especially when those games go to Golden State. I think their fan base is going to win them a couple games.
Uh, definitely. The next series we got to talk about is Game One of the Boston Milwaukee series. What was your takeaways from Game One?
Game one, I just remember the Celtics being undersized for Giannis. Um, it was definitely it was a good game. The score doesn't reflect how good the game was. I think. Uh, I don't know. This series is going to be a toss up series. Is any game somebody's playing better than what they're supposed to be? So I just don't know. This series is kind of hard. Um, I understand why a lot of people are picking the Celtics with Chris Middleton out, but also Marcus Smart is out. So we'll see.
I think this series is going to turn into a very defensive series.
There he is.
I think we already seen that already with how physical the series has been. But I think it's going to come down to who plays the better defense that game, who can convert off those stops, and that's who's going to win the basketball games. I think Milwaukee does have the advantage of being the previous champions and having Giannis on their team. I still don't think there's anybody on the Boston side that can stop Giannis. It has to be a team effort. Those are my
Mm,
biggest takeaways from Game One.
But going to game two, that's the problem. I can't say that nobody's there to stop Giannis when Giannis shot terribly to start the game. He's like 1 for 10 at one
Oh,
point.
bro. At one point, he was 2 for 12.
Yeah, I remember 2 for 11 as well. But yeah, he didn't start off well, and they built the wall. Honestly, they stopped him from getting to the basket with ease with the head full steam. And honestly, I'll give the respect to all their defenders. Al Horford and Robert Williams did a fantastic job at the basket contesting, and I think that was the biggest reason why they won this game. They just slowed Giannis down, and if Giannis can't get going, the rest of the pieces are going to have a hard time too.
Definitely. And the biggest thing from that 2 from 12, the 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 box score will lie to you because you're going to see the 28 points, but Giannis was not having a good game. They were playing great defense. As Darren was saying, they were building a wall and they were not letting him score and getting his easy shots at the basket.
I think he had a
Huge game
bad
from
first
Jason
half.
Tate. Huh?
I think he had a bad first half. Can you
You're
go back up
horrible.
real
He
quick?
was 2 for 12.
Go back up. It was a first half though. You said a bad game. It was
He had
just
a
a
bad
bad
game.
first half. It was a bad first half.
Okay, Darren. So in the garbage time, he was getting points in the back end of the game.
It's
Uh,
not the third quarter is not garbage time.
for this game, it was.
No, I disagree. You can still come back and win these games. So I don't know about that.
But I would agree with you. But guess what? Boston was on fire. They were hot. Jalen Brown was like hitting all his threes. I think he was 5 from 5 from three or something like that.
So
Where's it
you do
at?
agree with
Six
me
for
that it
ten
was
from
just a
three.
bad half. It
Jason
was just a
Tatum.
bad half.
We're going crazy. They had great games though.
Yeah, but it was a bad half by Giannis. That's all I'm saying.
I think that's a big deal, especially when both
It
stars
is a
for the
big.
Boston Celtics are hitting their shots. you're not going to win that basketball game.
It is a big deal. It definitely is a big deal. But I'm just saying it was a bad half, not a bad game. I just want to say that because I've seen KD have bad games in the last series. Giannis had a bad half. It's not the same thing.
All right, on to our next game. Game one of the Mavericks Suns. So this game was huge for me. I put like $20 on the Mavs to win this game. They the thing about this game is every time the Mavs got close, got it within two, the Suns would immediately go on a 7-0 run. Every single time they got within two like three or four occasions, and they immediately went on 7-0 runs. Luka Doncic is a bully to little guards. They if you're you can't put a guard on him. He's just going to bully them, get to the mid range, and just score. Not the greatest shooting night for Luka though. Still a big game for them. I think as long as they can play through Luka and score through Luka, this team will be great. Kleber, I don't know if I'm his name. Kleber off the bench had an amazing shooting night. If their 3-point shooters can knock down threes, they have a chance in this series. What the only thing that's holding them back is they don't have the big man to contain DeAndre Ayton off the boards.
You're wrong. You're right about that, but you're wrong. They don't have a chance in this series. Don't. Why are you gassing the Dallas Maverick fans up? That's just not. They don't have a chance in this series.
They
They
have a
don't.
chance. They have a
They
chance.
don't. They don't. They most definitely do not have a chance. This man scored 45 and lost. They do not have a chance. He shot, is that 50%? 15 for 30?
Yeah, from the field.
How can you say that's bad if he's shooting 50%?
Look at his 3 points. He 4 for 11 from
That's
the field.
one. No, I'm not doing that. I don't do that shit. I'll look at field goals
He
and free
wasn't
throws.
taking
He didn't have
good
a
threes.
bad
He was
night.
taking a lot of bad threes. What are you talking about?
I don't know if he was taking a lot of bad threes just because
Darren,
he
I
didn't
watched the
make.
game. He was taking bad threes, and he
Okay,
was missing them.
I hear what you're saying, but I'm a see it to believe it type person. I don't listen to what just people say.
Go watch the game. Go watch the game tonight and watch him take bad threes. And if he's 4 for 11 again, go back to game one. Oh, like, what are you talking about? Go watch game one, Darren. Go watch game one. He was taking bad threes.
What the fuck does that matter? I'm talking about field goals. I'm not talking about threes. He had a good game. They don't have a chance. That's my whole point. If he scores 45 points and you lose, how do you have a chance? Argue that. Just argue that. Don't argue the threes. Argue the 45 points because 45 points is a lot no matter if you hit those threes or not. And you
Darren, they
lost.
got their
No,
scoring off their bench. Their next best scorer, Brunson, didn't shoot well, and Finley didn't shoot well.
you don't have a chance, Rob. That's my whole point.
They have a chance. They always have a puncher's chance. Don't be surprised if this goes 6 games.
I will
Either
be
way,
very surprised if this goes 6 games.
7 games in the Mavs.
5 games, Suns. What are we talking about here? Like, dog, they don't have a big man. This is not even a question. Luka Doncic did the most rebounding. He scored the most points and did. Stop, bro. You just stop. You just trying to get a raise out of me. I understand this now. You're just trying to get a raise out of me because I put money on the series. Just go ahead, put money on the series.
What? I'm doing it with my bookie.
No, I'm telling you, put money on it with me right now.
Are we
If you're
doing it?
that confident in Luka, or even a chance of it going 7 games, just bet on the 7 games because I guarantee you
I'll
that's
bet you
not going to happen.
6.
Scroll down, please. I'm not taking 6, but you're wrong, dog. They don't have no one to stop this offensive arsenal. They don't have a defensive player to stop this. DeAndre Ayton's their leading scorer. They have no one to stop him. The pick and roll with Chris Paul, they have no one to stop him. The second, all you have to do if you're the Suns, and I'm not saying this is going to stop him, but just put your long defenders on Luka and figure out everybody else just plays defense on the outside, and you're good.
I think you're better off staying with the guards on Luca. I think Luca will blow past those longer guys because those
Bro,
only
you
guys who are
just
they
said
Jay Crowder and
you just said don't put
Michael
a guard
Bridges.
on him.
No. I was saying Luca bullies little guards.
So if he
Luca would
bullies
you
little
don't want to put
guards,
your one of your forwards on him.
Bridges can stay with him. Cam Johnson can stay with him.
Luca plays a slow game. What staying with Luca isn't the matter of fact. Making him miss the shots is what you're trying to do.
If
You
he's
don't. It
bullying
doesn't
the
matter if you
guard,
can
if
stay
he's
with Luca.
bullying the
He's not a
guards,
speed.
you're
He's not going.
rather no.
He's
Listen
still
to me.
bigger than these dudes anyway. He's still going to back him down.
He's not bigger than no Cam Johnson. Stop. He's not bigger than Cam Johnson or Bridges.
He
You
can,
are wrong.
but he can get past those guys, and he is bigger than Bridges.
In
He
his
would
slow
bully
game, with his
Bridges.
slow game, he can get past them.
Bridges, yes. Cam Johnson, he'll just go straight past him. Pick and roll, a step back three, miss.
Pick and roll with who? Stop.
Any of
Stop
these 3-point shooters? Did you watch? Powell,
Pick and roll. Pick and
Cleaver,
roll.
Brunson. They
He's
run
rolling?
pick and rolls with all of them. Pick
He's
and pop.
rolling. He's rolling.
Pick and pop. Pick and roll. Powell does roll though.
With 13 points on 15 shots. What is this man talking about? I don't even understand what you're talking about. Josh scored 47-1 in a close game. Luka scored 45 and lost by 7 points. I'm not saying this is not no knock against Luka. It's just he's not going to have the help in this series. Not against the Suns. I think you're disrespecting the Suns because Devin Booker went out last series and that series went 6 games. And for some reason, I think personally that you think that the Suns aren't what they are. That's how I'm looking at it. And you just love Luka. You combine all of that together. That's your argument to me today.
You don't have the Suns going to like the conference finals, right?
I mean, regardless, you still got this going 7 games.
I got this going to 6 games. I said 6.
You said 7.
I said 6, but
You
I
said
would
bet
bet
6.
7.
All right, whatever, man. It's not even going 5. It's going to be over in 5.
Next, the Sixers and Miami Heat. Game 1.
And they just don't got a chance without Embiid. James Harden is not James Harden no more.
It's kind of sad to say he's of all this previous decade superstars, he's definitely the one that's on the decline, the hardest right now.
Yeah, but are we surprised? James Harden been in too many strip clubs, shutting down the strip clubs at 4 a.m. and go boss. LeBron, that man trains, drinks wine, sleeps. Maybe make a movie. KD, similar. James Harden, I'm out at the club. Houston, Brooklyn, Philly.
It's specifically this playoff thing. It's just specifically this playoff thing.
It's been all year. James Harden been
It's
playing
his
good
whole
since last
career.
year.
Ever since he's been by himself, aka since he joined Houston, since he got traded to Houston, he's been shitty in the playoffs. And I think we can break it down to simply, guys get more time to watch your film, break you down, all that crap. But
None of that.
he's a ISO player, bro, and it just doesn't work. It just doesn't work. I talk about taking bad shots all the time, and people taking bad shots. I feel like every single time James Harden takes a 3 now, it's a bad shot because it seems forced. It just seems forced and not like within the flow of the game.
He doesn't have an all-around game anymore. And I'll debate that. I'll honestly debate that he probably never did, to be real with you. It looked like he did, but he didn't.
Debate that.
James Harden shoots step back threes. James Harden goes to the bucket. James Harden gets free throws. James Harden doesn't do anything in the mid range. What I watched last night from Steph Curry, he can get to the mid range and put that shit up. Chris Paul, we know that's where he lives. But he can knock down the 3. He can get to the bucket. DeMar DeRozan, mid range guy.
As far as the mid range goes, the Houston system just
No.
That was like their thing. They didn't like mid range shots.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. It's been 2 years. I'm not arguing Houston. I'm talking about right now, the past 2 years.
I was asking whether we were talking about his career.
I'm not. You are.
That's
I've
what
never been a
Darren. I
big
asked you a question about his career. What are you talking about?
I've never been a big fan of James Harden. He's never been in the mid range. So you could talk about Houston, but I'm talking about the past 2 years. I'm not talking about that.
That was the question. He's never played well in the playoffs.
But I'm not talking about the past. We're right now and he's in the playoffs. Play better in the playoffs right now.
He
I'm
never
not talking.
has. That's my point, Darren. He never has. If it walks like a duck and it talks like a duck,
So
I
why
think
is it
it's a
sad?
duck, Darren.
Why is it sad? Why is it sad?
Because he should be considered one of the greatest point guards ever. It's very disappointing. It's honestly more disappointing than Dwight Howard's career, in my opinion.
You are wild. Dwight Howard has a championship. You are wild today. You are wild. I agree with you, but I'm not going to put Dwight
Just from
Howard in.
what we think Dwight should have been, he should have been the generational center of our generation. He should have been that guy we put with Shaq, we put with Wilt, we put with Kareem. He should have been that guy, and he's not. Unfortunately, he's not that guy, and he's definitely a above average player, but he's just not that guy. He never reached that expectation.
And are
James
you
Harden,
arguing?
go
Go
ahead.
ahead. No, I think you're arguing James Harden should be not in the Michael category, not in the Kobe category, but the D Wade category, and a little bit right around there.
No. I'm saying even worse than that because that's how mediocre his. I'm putting
Okay,
him
he
below
should be.
AI.
He should be.
He should be in that Tracy McGrady, Vince Carter area.
Then I don't understand how he's not in there with them.
In
They're
there with
great
who?
scorers. He was a great scorer. None of them have championships. I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure.
but none of them also played well in the playoffs historically.
You're saying that's where he should be because that's where he's at. That's where
That's
I'm
what.
saying he's
That's where I
at.
think. That's what I'm saying. That's where he's at right now, and it's a disappointment because he should be higher. That's what I'm saying.
Where I was talking
He should be
underneath
in
D
that
Wade.
AI D Wade area, but he's not going to be.
I don't think so. If you don't take care of yourself off the field, off the court, I don't understand. I don't agree with you. I
What are you
would agree
disagreeing
with
with?
you if he didn't have destructive behavior out off the court.
Wait, what are you disagreeing with?
I would agree with you that he should be near the D Wade AI category, but he is in the Tracy Vince, whatever where you want to put him, but he's not there because, and I don't feel sorry for him.
So,
I don't feel sad. I don't feel sad. I guess that's what I'm disagreeing. I don't feel sad for somebody who
so
did
you
it to
don't feel.
himself.
So that's what you're disagreeing with. You don't feel sad for.
Not even in the slightest.
Even I shouldn't say sad for him. I just as a basketball fan that's looking at the legacy of basketball. You don't care. Do you feel sad for Dwight?
Dwight has a championship. I'm happy for his career. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't have a problem with Dwight's career. The biggest thing I feel sorry for Dwight was the off the field shit, off the court shit. I mean, but that's just that.
Yeah. All right.
But no, James Harden did it to himself. If you show up fat in Houston to get to Brooklyn, I don't know. Did you expect him to do something with the Sixers? Did you put it like this? Did you expect him to? No, fuck it. That's the question. Did you expect him to do something in this series with Embiid or without Embiid there? Was you expecting him to do anything in the series, let alone win? Just something.
This specific series, no. But for the
Thank you.
playoffs, when they got him, I think the expectation was for at least for Sixers and Sixers fans, it should have been championship finals or bust. Because that's if you don't get to the finals, at least minimum conference finals after making that trade, I consider it a failure. But just this matchup, this is just a bad matchup for them. This team is just way too Miami's just way too deep.
Honestly, any matchup for them would be bad without Joel Embiid there. That's right there right now. If they played the Bucks, it would be bad. If they played
Even
the Celtics, it'd be bad. If they
even
played Miami, it'd be bad.
even
They're
if they
not
did
made to go.
even if they did have Joel Embiid, this would be a bad matchup for them. So that's what it's a really bad matchup for them. I think they would have a way better chance of beating who's in the other series? Phil God damn it. Who's in the other series?
Celtics, Bucks.
I think they have a way better
Celtics
chance of beating the Celtics with Embiid.
with Embiid, yes. With Embiid, yes. But without
But
Embiid, no.
it's just I think this is just a bad matchup. And they're going to get him. The problem is even if they do get him back game 3 or 4, it's going to be too late to even Even if they can sneak out a game, it's gonna be too late. They're gonna have too much of far of a lead, and maybe can close out. They could definitely close out.
New one throw this out there. Maxi is a fucking dog, and he's been a dog since last year. I want to shout that out. He's been playing his ass off.
I feel like he's been a dog for a while. How long has he been in the league?
Not too long.
They had another point guard that was really good for that was a backup point guard for Philly.
Um,
I forget his name.
yeah. No, I want to say Thibault, but I don't think that's it. I don't know. I forgot.
All right.
They did have somebody. Oh, shoot! I literally just left my head. They had somebody there last year. I can't remember. But yeah, I'm. Mm,
All right. So our
Shout out to
last top,
Miami.
yeah, shout out to Miami. All right. So for our last topic of the day, we're gonna wrap it up talking about, with some football. Um, DeAndre Hopkins is getting suspended for 6 games for testing positive for PEDs. What's your initial reaction to this?
I was very confused when I first saw this. I didn't honestly believe it. It's one of those like I don't know. I don't know. Like I'm not a big like superstar person, but D Hop is one of those people that he doesn't seem like he'd take a shortcut. So when this first came out, I was a little bit surprised. Um, and then I was definitely surprised after he put out his statement because I do remember him either last year or 2 years ago, maybe a couple years ago, that he just takes a holistic approach
Mm-hmm.
to recovery in general. So I'm very surprised that whatever PED was found in there. I kind of want to find out which PED and how it got into him because after all these years of being in the league, is very weird for him to just show up on this list. Um, I wish he could fight it more so because he doesn't deserve 6 games. He's just a pinnacle in the league, man. He's one of the best. He's one of the best players for the league. So I hate to see this happen. I hate to see this happen.
People were saying no wonder his hands were so damn big.
People are crazy.
DeAndre Hopkins' statement reads: "In my 10-year NFL career, I have never tested positive for using performance-enhancing drugs. To learn that my November test came back with trace elements of a banned substance, I was confused and shocked. I'm very mindful of what I put in my body, and I have always taken a holistic approach. So I'm working with my team to investigate how this could have happened. But even as careful as I've been, I clearly wasn't careful enough. For that, I apologize to the Cardinals fans, my teammates, and the entire Cardinals organization. I never want to. I never want to let my team down. I fully intend to get to the bottom of this as soon as I have more information. I will share it." So my next question for you, Darren, is from a football standpoint, how do you think this affects the Cardinals next year?
I just want to say D Hop is one of my favorite receivers of all time. I just want to say that out there. I think he's a quarterback playing receiver. I just want to say that. But how it affects them, it's a big deal. Those 6 games are going to be tough. The NFL announced that they were having a Arizona versus San Francisco divisional game in Mexico City. I don't know when that's going to happen. I don't know if it's going to be in the suspension or after the suspension. I think that plays a role. Uh, they did get Marquise Brown from the Ravens, so I kind of understand the need. Not even the need. They got plenty of receivers. But if you knew that this was going to come down, I understand getting an extra weapon for Kyler, especially like Kyler's an improved year. It's going to suck that he doesn't have D Hop, obviously, but he has plenty of weapons. I would never say that he shouldn't get the job done. Kyler should still get the job done. He played with Marquise Brown in college. AJ Green is still going to be there. Rondell Moore is going to develop. He looks nice, great, shifty guy with pretty good speed. Zach Ertz, I believe, is still there. So yeah, they should still be right there competing with their division, especially if San Francisco doesn't get Debo situation figured out. I like San Francisco. They still need that star receiver. If Debo's not there, then I don't know what they're going to do. The Rams are the Rams, but they should easily still be in the playoff picture. The Cardinals should still be in the playoff picture next year with or without D Hop.
I disagree strongly. I think this is going to have a big effect on the season. I'm not
It
saying
is.
that they're going to lose all their games, but I don't think they're going to be above 500. by the end of this suspension. I think they probably missed the playoffs and probably the worst, probably not the worst team, but I think they definitely missed the playoffs this year.
I completely disagree. They should, if they miss the playoffs, they got to figure out what they're going to do with Kyler.
Bam.
I don't know if that's easy. I don't know if that's easy. How do you miss the playoffs? Because you don't have D Hop there? Why? You have other weapons around you. Why? Why would you miss the playoffs?
Because first of all, you're in a really tough division, and them playing with D Hop towards the end of the year, they really had to change their style of play. And from like they weren't as spread heavy as they usually were, and they went to a more run offense, and it really affected them, and it didn't look good. Now you could argue that going into the season, they're gonna be prepared for without D Hop, but to be able to prepare with D Hop is a big difference, especially in the NFL. You need to be able to separate yourself from other teams.
There's 7 teams that's making the playoffs. What teams do you in the NFC do you see taking those spots? Let's just
Off the
say,
top of my head,
let's just say they miss. Excuse me. Let's say they miss. The Rams get the number 1 seed or their conference, their division seed. Who do you see knocking them out of those last 3 spots?
hold on, I just need to pull up the divisions,
The conference.
the conferences. Tampa Bay,
They're going to be in there as the number 1 seed
uh,
as a divisional winner. That's what I should say. I mean,
Tampa Bay, the Cowboys,
divisional winner, divisional winner.
uh, the Packers are going to probably win their division.
Okay.
Uh,
The Rams.
there you said the
Let's just say the
Rams.
Rams
So
win
we
it.
got 3 more teams. So
Yeah, there's 3 teams.
give me the Vikings.
Okay.
Uh, give me the 49ers. And I guess that's all I can do. Put over them. The Saints and Falcons are kind of I don't believe in the Falcons. The Saints maybe they have weapons everywhere. Maybe Washington, but I guess you got to put them in that 7th seed.
Exactly. They're not missing. They shouldn't miss the playoffs. I disagree with the 49ers. If Debo is not there, they're going to have trouble. Even if they get it figured out, they're still going to have trouble. Maybe the Eagles, because they have weapons now, and they should do something. But that's it. The Cardinals should still make the playoffs. There's no excuse for Kyler. I don't care what you say. There's no excuse.
I think the Cardinals can miss the playoffs and Cardinals have a good season.
I don't know what you just said. I'm
I
sorry.
said I know. I think the Cardinals can miss the playoffs and Kyler can still have a good season. Honestly, the
No,
offense
I
is going to
disagree with
struggle.
you. I disagree with you. They don't
This
have
offense
the
going to
defense
struggle.
no more. They don't have the defense no more. I don't know. I don't know. They should make the playoffs. If they don't, I think Kyler played terrible in the second half of the season, just like he's been doing the past couple years. No disrespect to Kyler. I like him as a player, but he just gets hurt. I would too if I was his size. I probably am his size is height wise. And niggas following me all the time, I'd probably get hurt too. That's just is what it is.
All right. You got anything else to wrap up the show?
Still mad about D Hop. Not his fault though. I'm not blaming him. I wish they would reduce his suspension a little bit. But that's just me. Hope the best. Can't wait to see him back on the field.
Definitely, definitely. Well, thank you guys again for watching another episode of the From Half Court Sports Talk Show with Darren and Rob. We'll see you guys Friday.
Like,
Make sure,
comment, subscribe.
yep, make sure you guys do that below, and we'll see you guys Friday afternoon. Peace.
Peace. Y'all stay up.